Hey everybody, Weem here. Welcome to Factorio. This game has actually been recommended to me a number of times over the course of the last year or so. It kind of pops up in comments here and there, and most recently Zemian2 posted a comment, said, hey, you should check out Factorio, and I thought, you know what, let me go look at it again. I had seen it before and even recommended it to a friend who I thought would like it. It's like, yeah, you make these conveyor belts and you gather resources and stuff, I think you'd really dig it. And but I had never tried it myself, so until last night anyway, I finally, after looking at some videos, thought, you know what, this does look kind of fun, let me go grab it. I bought it, it was $16, grabbed that, played it last night, and I couldn't stop playing, played for a couple hours. So anyway, I thought I would bring you guys in here, show you the game, especially to those of you who've never seen this before. So I'm barely going to scratch the surface of this game. We're going to jump in, kind of a new game. I'm going to gather some resources and just kind of show you the very kind of early basics. Less of a tutorial because I'm still new myself, but just kind of show you the basics. Then I'll load my save and show you a little bit about what I have going on there, which is really not that far into the game. So for now, I went ahead and set these things to high. I'm just going to do that just to kind of show you this. Let's generate this world and jump in here. So we've got all kinds of iron, which is great. I'm going to kind of pan out here. We have copper, but what we're really looking for is coal. We've got a little batch of it here. This is actually enough to get us started. I don't need really more than that, although there's a huge field of it down here. But this being up here, this little section of it, I think it's pretty good. It's close. It's nearby. We'll have to deal with some of the trees in the way here, but that's okay. So let me kind of scroll in here. But as we come all the way down here, we can see our dude running around here. And we automatically start with the burner mining drill, which burner meaning it requires coal to run. And we got a stone furnace to smelt this stuff. So the first thing we have to do is we actually have to gather this stuff by hand. So let's jump in here and get some tools together. Let's see, I just have to remember where it is. So the number here is how many you can make, and at the bottom when I click it you see that it kind of queues it up. So now we have 2 of those guys. We don't have to equip it or anything, that's fine down there. And we can just hold right click and start gathering this stuff up. So basically we're going to gather some coal. Actually, you know what, I can automatically just put this guy down, come to think of it. We've got the arrow here indicating where it's going to want to spit material out. So let's just go ahead and set it there. And we're going to go ahead and drop the materials into a chest if we can. You can see here that that requires wood. Now the cool thing, what I really like about this game, and it's not the first to do this, but I really like when games do this, is when you want to go make something, it actually will tell you kind of all the parts you need. And but it doesn't require you to build the parts leading up to that. It kind of gives you the build list of what you need. I think the example I gave somebody was today, actually. I was telling a friend about it. It's like, imagine if you had 3 steel plates and 3 steel rods, but the rods are just made from the plates. You can actually get the 6 plates and be able to make it. It will tell you, oh, I can make that. And then it queues the rods for you. It makes the rods. Then it makes the item that you're going to make. So I really like that. You don't have to fiddle with the little bits. As long as you got the primary stuff, you can get going right away. So let's see. I'm just going to kind of gather some iron here for no reason, really. We're supposed to be gathering wood. It's like, what was I doing again? We're going to go ahead and bust some of these trees up. And I'm just holding right click here, kind of chopping through this. So we can make up to 10 of these. We're just going to make 1. It's going to appear down in our quick bar there. So we hit 1, put it there, and we just need to feed this some fuel. I'm going to go ahead and hit shift click and put that in. So you can see this is mining. Over on the right, it's going to tell us how much we can actually get in this area. You know, it's over 1,000, almost 2,000. So we got some coal showing up in here. I can actually hit Alt and it will kind of remove the top so you can see what's inside things. I like doing that. So right now we're gathering up some coal, which is excellent. And then we have a stone furnace that I'm going to want to be smelting the iron from. Of course, we're going to want to gather this stuff up, but let's go ahead and put this guy down. I think we'll just put it here. Let's bust up some trees. I like that you can hold an item like this and, you know, chop a tree down. You don't have to put that away. So we're going to go ahead and set that guy there. And it's requiring coal. I can actually control click on that guy and it'll pick it all up. Shows me I got 12, which is awesome. So I'll put that in. I've got the couple iron I already picked up. Let's go ahead and start smelting that. So things in the beginning for Factorio are pretty manual. You do a lot of kind of gathering yourself and putting this stuff in. And I think from the videos I've seen that happens as you go as well, but it happens less and less frequently. You can do a lot of things manually, setting up chests, putting in items, you know, feeding the machines yourself. But I think the fun of the game is trying to automate like every aspect of it. So let's go ahead and throw this stuff in there, get that going. We've got 10 coal in there, which is excellent. So let's bring this guy up. Let me walk you through some other things here. We've got 4 categories here of things we can make. We've got logistics. You can see we've got a chest, a larger chest. These are conveyor belts. These arms will pick up things off of the conveyor belts or put things on from other, like the assemblies or the mining, stuff like that. We've already run out of coal here. So let me bust this up. We're going to let that just sit there actually for now because we do have 10 there. So we have an electric pole, pipe. These pipes are used and you kind of pull water out and you can use that for power later for electricity. That's something that is definitely good to get into. We actually have the pump here. We have an electric drill versus the actual burner drill we're using now, which is definitely cool. The labs for research. So we got all kinds of different things in here. The engine, we get into some of these other parts that are used in making other things. And then of course we have the materials for combat because we do have creatures that would like to attack us. So those are kind of the basics of what we can make. If I hit T, I'll bring up our research. So everything up here that's green are things that we can research, if I recall correctly. Got the button there. And once we've researched something, I believe it just puts it down here at the bottom in green, so you know what you've got. Everything in red here you cannot research yet. It shows that it's got a requirement we're missing. So we'll kind of progress through these. And when you choose them, you can see that it's showing you what you're going to be able to do. For example, make a lamp or make a stone wall, things like that. So you can kind of choose how you progress. Okay, so another thing I really like about this game is that there's no breaking down of these guys. You don't lose materials, they don't break and kind of cost you some of the materials. I can actually hold right click and just pick these things right back up. So I'm going to actually cruise on down here. We're going to put this guy here. It's probably fine. Rotate this guy around. Now, as I move this around on the right, you can see the number of iron in the 6.6 thousand there. So you can kind of see where a good place might be to put this. But we're going to go ahead and put this right here near the edge. Throw in the 5 coal that we have. And that's going to start spitting out some of the iron right there. So let's go ahead and pick this guy up. Let's see what we can make here. So we do have the belt and we do have the burner inserter. So this is the arm. So let's go ahead and make one of these guys real quick. Okay, then we're going to bring out our smelter and put a gap right there. Grab the arm, and you can see the flat space as I rotate this is where it's going to pick up from, and the arrow is where it's going to go to. So if I put this here, it's going to want to pick that up off the ground. Now, I think what I should do is put a chest there. If I put it right on top, the iron will go into it, so that's cool. And you can see that it's now gathering some of this up. So let's go ahead and put some coal in here. I can actually control right click to put half in. Put half in there. So there we go. You can see this guy is pulling the iron, putting it in the chest. The inserter is grabbing the iron out and sticking in the smelter. And the smelter is making plates out of it. So that gives you a very simplistic view of how this works. It's really cool. People have some really super complex setups. And I haven't even explored, you know, a tenth of this game. There's so much stuff there to do. Okay, now that we've gathered up the iron and made a number of iron plates, I think we have 30 now, so that's pretty good. I've actually picked up the operation. We're going to move over here to the copper now. So I'm going to go ahead and just drop this guy here. We're going to grab the chest, stick it there. We will take the smelter, stick it here, the furnace. And then grab the arm and rotate that around. So we will have a similar setup once I make sure that I get the right spacing here. There we go. So now what we need to do is just kind of feed some coal into these guys. Let's just start with 5 there. I'm just going to split this up. There won't be many. We're going to need to go do more of this. But you can see we have this operation going over here now. Getting this guy going here. So if I stare at the chest here, you can see the copper goes in just for a second. As soon as it goes in, the arm pulls it right back out. And then we're smelting these up. Now, why am I going for the copper plate? So if I bring this up, what I want to do is I want to make an assembler. And that's a machine that basically you can tell it, hey, make this. and then it will want to receive parts to make that, and that's when you use the arms to take them off conveyor belts. Now, I don't have access to that yet. It's not here, not until we upgrade. So in order to do an upgrade, what we need to do is we need to get some circuits going. Actually, you know what? Let's double check that. Come to think of it, maybe you don't start with that. So there's the assembler. Never mind, we don't need the circuits. We actually need the science pack. So it's kind of this, it looks like a potion, right? Like a health potion. We need 10 of those. So if we bring this back up, I got confused. That's not what we need. So we do need copper plates, so that's good. So we're getting that. And we can make the gears, because the gears are made from the plates, as you can see, they're down at the bottom. I literally just pointed at my screen. I think this is the second time I've done that ever on the channel. I just pointed at my screen as if you guys were here. But down there you can see we've got 2 plates, and this kind of goes back to what I was saying. We need the iron gears, but it's saying right now you're good because I've got the plates, which make those. So that is very cool. So we just need the plates here. I can actually shift click those out, and now you can see we can make 15 of those. So we can actually just kind of click through these till there's 5 left, so we know that we've queued up 10. Down in the bottom left, you'll see those queuing up down there. So once those 10 are in there, we need to stick those actually in a lab. I forgot about that part. We do have to make a lab, so that's why we needed the circuits. There it is, Weem. Knew there was something. I was like, I thought I needed circuits. So with the lab, we will actually feed these science packs in there, and that will complete the research for us. So basically, I'm going to go ahead and crank these guys out and try to get to that point where I have a lab down. Okay, so I have the materials needed to put a lab down, but the lab requires power, and not coal power. It requires electricity. So I've gathered up a number of materials we need to get that going. So we're going to start here with the pump. We're going to get a pipe out here. Then we have broilers, so these are going to heat the water. We need that good and hot. I'm going to stick 2 pipes here. Now this combination I'm doing here, I'm only doing because that's how I've kind of seen it done in a video. I would imagine that you could stick broilers just directly to this and then connect it to the steam engine, but we're doing it this way. So if we go ahead and hook that up, it's not putting out any power. These guys don't have power. We have to put that coal in them, and we can see that the water temperature, if you look at over at the right, it's at 15 right now. Is not doing anybody any good. So we need to jump in here, throw some power or coal into these guys, and let those guys get started. So you can see the temperature is coming up from 15 now, 36 and 22. That's going to work its way up. Let's go ahead and place the lab down. We're just going to stick it right near here. So you can see it does not have power. So now we're going to connect these 2 together. And take this pole, go right there. And there you go. The steam engine is now powering the lab. Very cool. So we had gone in and we had selected automation. We had clicked that research button, and the bar is up here doing nothing because we need 10 of the science pack. So I do have the 10 now, and normally you can actually set up conveyors to kind of like make this stuff and then fill these guys in, but you can also manually do it. So when I throw that in, you can see it's doing its thing, and it's going to go one at a time. As soon as this meter gets all the way over here, it's going to tick up at the top right a portion of that. So there you go. Probably about 10% since there's 10 of those. But anyway, now it's just a waiting game as this researches. That'll go through. Once that is done, we would be able to make the assembly machine and put that down. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over to my current save, which is really not a whole lot farther than this, but I'll show you some of the conveyor belts and everything. I do have 2 down here, but they're pretty self-explanatory, and I'll show you my other save that's got a whole bunch of them. So this is my current save, and what I did was actually played a bit farther than I thought I was going to show you. I thought I would kind of move things along a bit. I've actually reorganized a number of things here and even discovered something that I will get into shortly, but I mostly wanted to bring you in here and just show you that how complex this game can be. I've got what you see here is very simple, and it's really not put together well. I've just was experimenting, moving some things around, so there's definitely some inefficiencies here, a lot of them actually, and I know a lot of things that I would change here, but it works right now. So I thought I would just kind of show you what's going on. So basically we have coal down here at the bottom, we have copper over here, and then up top we've got a bunch of iron, and what I'm doing is I'm bringing them all and converging them pretty much in this area. Now the coal is actually going down to feed my power, my steam engines and things down there, but it's also, that's at least this line. The other line here is actually going and feeding the different, the stone furnaces that actually cook the materials, smelt them essentially. So I've got iron coming down here, it gets pulled into these 2 smelters, And then when they're done, they get put back on the line here. The arm grabs it and moves it down. You know, these moves the plates in. The same thing is happening here. It's kind of only left to right versus top to bottom. And it moves the copper plates in. So we've got iron plates, copper plates. So that's the basic setup here. A lot of the other lines you see here are about moving coal around to get put into the stone furnaces. So the entire goal is to take all of this stuff and get to this point where I'm at now, where we've got iron coming in here, iron plates, and copper plates coming in here. Now once we do that, I actually split these. So I've got just iron going here, just copper going down here, and in the middle I actually converge and bring the two together because, excuse me, some things actually require both, right? Some of the things I'm making. Let me hit Alt here and kind of reveal what's going on here. So we have the plates coming in. Up top you can see we've got the gears. On the bottom we have the copper wire. So I have copper wire coming in, I have the gears coming in, and then I've got plates of both kinds all coming into the central location here, getting pulled into a chest. And then from this chest I'm pulling as needed to make these guys. Now it's really coming down to two things at this point. I've got the red science I'm trying to get and the green science. The thing is, the red science is very easy. The green science requires some of these other materials. It requires these two, which requires the boards. So that's kind of the goal here, is I'm bringing all of this together then to make the green and red sciences, which kind of converge on my lab here. So up at the top again, we're doing the research, and it's filling these in as needed so that we can get our research done. So that's it. All of this that you see right here, the aim of this is to simply make the red and green science so I can progress my tech. And it's actually pretty slow going. You know, people have a really good setup. They've got, you know, multiple of these going. They're just pumping these things out. But this was my basically, I broke a bunch of stuff down and reorganized it just to see, you know, if this kind of setup would work. Super inefficient, but it really taught me a lot about what, you know, how to do this stuff, and especially what not to do. But anyway, yeah, I think that should pretty much give you an idea of what's going on here. Obviously, there's creatures and everything we could be fighting. I'm going to actually run up here because, I'll be honest, I've never fought anything before. It's just not been a thing I've had to do. I've been learning the game. But I do want to show you, if we're doing this, we might as well go check it out. Let's go see what these guys are up here. Going to weave through the forest. I'm sure we'll die. That's okay. So spacebar is going to shoot wherever I'm kind of aiming, or I can hit C and it's going to shoot what I'm targeted on. I think I'm just going to roll with spacebar for now. So this is not going too well for me. There we go, we just died. But you saw there was a nest up there, so you can take that out. It's kind of a spawner. So anyway, it's interesting because one thing to note here is it says game finished. We're done. Like, we can restart this level, but we're done. We once you die, there is no coming back. Now, I don't know if there's a setting for this when you first initially start the game that, you know, when you die you actually come back. I'm thinking not, though. I don't recall seeing anything like that. But that's it. That's my very quick run of this to kind of give you guys an idea of what's going on here. I'm enjoying this game a lot. I was telling some people today I'm hooked. The couple times that I've sat down to play it, I just can't seem to get away from it. It's super fun. You can see that we actually are registering, I guess, 6 hours on here. That sounds about right. I've pulled up a lot and replaced a lot of stuff in the learning. But anyway, I do want to thank you guys for stopping in. I hope you guys enjoyed this. You can check out the game again. I'll have all the information down in the description. They do have a free demo link, so you can check it out and see what you think. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. I'll catch you next time.